Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the lesson Anti-Colonial Movement and the Birth of Nationalism. Learning objective of the lesson: the nature of tribal and peasant revolt against the British, contributory factors for the outbreak of the Great Rebellion of 1857, and the subsequent changes in the British approach to governing India. Third point, factors leading to the formation of Indian National Congress and the perspective of the early nationalists. Divide and rule policy of the British began the partition of Bengal 1905 and the launch of Swadeshi movement in Bengal. Background for the launch of the Home Rule movement. Okay, the Battle of Plassey happened in the Indian ground on 23 June 1757 with Nawab of Bengal Siraj Uddaula and his uncle Mir Jafar and then chief of the Nawab's army. The chief of the Nawab's army and Mir Jafar secretly friendly relationship with the Robert Clive. Who is the Robert Clive? The Robert Clive was the commander-in-chief of the East India Company. He was orchestrated by the Battle of Plassey. And then Clive was helped the Jahad Seth, who were aggrieved by Siraj Uddaula's policy. So these peoples also against Siraj Uddaula. The Battle of Plassey was followed the blunder of Bengal. And then the Mir Jafar, who became the new Nawab of Bengal. So they company received 22.5 million rupees from Mir Jafar. This same money was later invested to propel the industrial revolution in Britain. On the other hand, India was led to the path of the deindustrialization and forced to create market for the product manufactured in Britain. And then this lesson story resistance of the varied range of the response against the British rule in Indian subcontinent. Peasant and tribal resistance, this topic. While the urban elite of India was busy responding to the Western ideas and rationality, at the same time, some socio-religious reform movement in India. So the traditional elite and peasantry, along with the tribals, revolted. They were not necessarily seeking the removal of the British, but rather the restoration of the pre-colonial order. There were nearly 100% uprising during the British rule. The method is restorative rebellions. Second one, religious movements. Third one, social banditry. Fourth one, mass insurrection. What is restorative rebellions? This method is agitation by the restore the old order and old social relations. Next, religious movements. Such agitation were led by some religious leaders fought for the liberation of the local populace by restricting society and certain religious principles. Social banditry. This means the leaders of such movements were considered by criminal by the British and the traditional elite, but they were looked upon the local people as hero or champion of their cause. Mass insurrection. Mass insurrection means usually there was not leader. The people suddenly created the revolt in mass level, that is called the mass insurrection. Next, changes in the revenue system. The East India Company restricted the Mughal revenue system across India in such manner, so the financial burden of the peasant was increased. There was no widespread system of private ownership of the land in pre-British India. Next is subletting of land. The practice of letting out or subletting of land complicated the agrarian relations because the zamindar often sublet land to many subordinate landlords. They were sublet them some peasants. So they return collected a fixed amount of revenue from peasant. So they increased tax burden of this peasant. This method, the peasant was increased the tax burden. Next one, peasant uprising. Peasant revolt began to erupt in the early 19th century and continued till the very end of the British rule in India. Next, Farsi movement. The Farsi movement was launched by Haji Shariatullah in 1818. After the death of Shariatullah in 1839, the movement was led by Dudu Mian. He was Shariatullah's son. He gained popularity on a simple doctrine, that was, the land and all wealth should be equally enjoyed by the common people. Other than he said, not the peasants asking to not to pay tax, and then he declared that land belongs to God, and collecting rent or levying taxes on it, that was against the divine law. So large number of peasants were mobilized through the network of village organization, and then they the people's organization 1840s and 1850s, they violent clashes throughout the jamindars and the planters. After the death of Dudu Mian in 1862, it was led by Nova Mian in 1870s.